Hello, my name is Oliver Pickard and welcome to my workshop in beautiful Limousin, France. It's a balmy -5 in the workshop today, but we shall carry on working even so. And what better way of warming up than doing a bit of welding? But before we get on to the welding, we've got to make stuff to weld in. Before we get started, I just want to point out, because I think there's been a couple of misconceptions in various comment sections on various social medias, that this is not a space frame. I'm not making a space frame, and Pandora is not a tube frame chassis car. A GTM is originally a semi-monocoque. It uses a lower steel floor pan and a fiberglass body to create a strong chassis, if you will. What I'm creating is an integrated roll cage, which is a roll cage that is built into the monocoque. One of the reasons for doing this is that I'm a very large man and we've now got 250 Honda horsepower to deal with. So we need a lot more rigidity than we once had. And I want this car to be really strong because I want to actually use this car. So it needs to be strong, it needs to be safe, it needs to be stiff, and I'm very big. So that's one reason for the integrated roll cage. The other reason is that this steel floor pan was originally made in a jig, which is a kind of a frame that's designed to hold all the components of the chassis together while it's all welded together to make sure it's all square and stuff. And I don't have a jig. I don't have a chassis jig, and I didn't want to make a chassis jig. And one of the cool things about making an integrated roll cage is I can then use my integrated roll cage, because this is bent as a banana. I can use my integrated roll cage as a chassis jig because it's all there and it's all strong. And so I can combine my roll cage and my chassis, and that prevents me from needing a jig to hold it all together. But this will be a monocoque car. It will just be a monocoque car with the assistance of a tubular roll cage in order to hold it all together and keep it all stiff, if that makes sense. Because I need to make the car bigger on the inside without making the car bigger on the outside, because I still want to keep this car a Cox GTM. I still want to keep it what it originally was because I love what it originally was. But I need to do that in a way that makes it big enough for me to fit in, makes it strong enough, makes it stiff enough, and makes it safe enough. Because I want to keep this car for a long, long time, and I want to drive a very long way in it. And so it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that I'm really enjoying. So that's why I'm not making a monocoque. I am making a monocoque. I'm not making a space frame. Not a true space frame anyway. Obviously, there's going to be triangulation and there's going to be space frame elements, but to call this a space frame chassis in any way would be completely wrong. It's a tube-assisted monocoque, or rather a semi-monocoque like it originally was. Right, let's get started, shall we? So we need to put a tube between here and there, and that gives us an interesting dilemma. It's the first time this has happened on this roll cage. It won't be the last time. There are many, many times this is going to happen, but this is the first. So we've got a tube and a tube that intersect here. So a notch like we've used for the rest of the cage isn't good enough. We need to notch it this way, and then we need to notch it that way, so that we can join three tubes together. So we need a notch in our notch. And then that way, this bar can sit along there. Rub your file along your edge. Not very harsh, obviously. Doesn't need to be to get through the masking tape. You can then pop your tape out like that. There you go. Using a scrap notch, this is our test piece, draw around it, and that will give us our notch. Do you remember the centre tunnel that we made way back in 2020? Well, it's not quite time to attach it into the car yet, but we are going to be putting two pieces of box section steel here and there in order to attach it in the future. It will also give us somewhere to attach brackets for things like coolant hoses and fuel lines and stuff like that have to travel through the centre tunnel without actually drilling holes in the centre tunnel, or putting brackets into this centre tunnel. I want to keep it as unblemished as possible. So let's notch some square tubing for a change. Where's my other file gone? I've lost my other file. Ah! Where's it gone? Seriously, I'm asking, where's it gone? Ah, ah. 90% of the footage cut out of these videos is just me filing. Two hours later. Now it's time to make a harness bar which runs across here. I'm going to have normal inertia reel seatbelts in this car, but I do want the option to run race harnesses because I'd like to do the odd track day and stuff like that. This will be a road car. It's not a track day car. It's not a track car. It's not a racing car. This will be a regular, everyday type road car. So inertia reel seatbelts are a must, but like I say, I want that extra security if I want it. And it also makes the roll cage stronger, so there's no reason not to put one in. Right, let's make one. harness bar, 2 floor bars and a front lower bar. It's looking more and more roll cagey every single day. It's looking more and more like a car every single day, and it's still reasonably light. I've ridden bikes that weigh more than that. Pop it back on its feet, there we go. But we haven't put any sheet metal in yet, but we will do next week. We'll be mocking up our first bit of sheet metal, a piece that we made not so long ago in a previous video. So you've got that to look forward to. Now, I don't have a Patreon and I don't have a GoFundMe. What I want you to do is subscribe and share these videos with your friends. If you'd like to click like, and if you'd like to leave a comment down below, that really helps as well. Tell me how you think the car is going. Tell me anything that you want. That's how these videos get recommended to more people, and that's my goal. I want more people to watch these videos and enjoy these videos and to help these videos get into the hands of the people who will love them. And if you can help do that, then that's absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for watching. Please be awesome to each other. If you're interested in any of my social media, that's down in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.